Hi guys, I'm Emma. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Sister Wives cast member Janelle Brown revealed how she initially struggled when she relocated to North Carolina, and how she has been getting around-the-clock assistance to overcome at least one of them. As one of Kody Brown's wives, she had almost 30 years of being in a plural marriage. Still, Janelle decided to dissolve their spiritual marriage when Kody no longer prioritized the family and their relationship became bitter. Since the late part of 2022, Janelle has been more dedicated to constructing her own life. After moving to North Carolina to be nearer to her children, she started making more of an effort to continue on her health journey. Janelle recently talked about the challenges she went through after she moved from Flagstaff to North Carolina, and how she was able to get past them. In her Instagram story, Janelle posted, "When you move to a new town, it's always a struggle to find a good hair person and a good personal trainer." She also thanked her personal trainer, Jared Akers, for keeping her on track with her fitness objectives, particularly while traveling. Janelle shared a screenshot of a text exchange with her trainer, in which he asked if she had any questions and checked in regarding her workouts. Janelle responded, "No, things are on track. Glad you kind of set some goals for me. Thanks for keeping me accountable." What it truly entails to hold Janelle accountable for her weight loss efforts, Janelle is stepping up and accepting responsibility. Her life has experienced lots of ups and downs since she and Kody broke up 3 years ago. She experienced a painful loss with the death of her adult son, Garrison Brown. Yet, Janelle still persists in getting her life together in honor of his memory. With her newfound sense of purpose and dedication, she has been diligently working on her fitness journey and has successfully established her own business, Tata Farms. After initially having trouble finding a qualified trainer, Janelle is now training with Jared and is satisfied with the improvement she's seen. Janelle's weight loss makeover has drawn attention from Sister Wives viewers, and recently, she's gotten lots of compliments on her radiant complexion. She's willing to push her physical transformation even further. At this point, Janelle is willing to take some tough love in order for her to get to her goal of losing weight. She's enlisted Jared as her fitness trainer as she keeps working on her goals. Janelle appears sincere about wishing to see tangible progress, and she is letting her personal trainer keep her on her toes. She is prepared to overcome the hurdles that stand in her way as she moves toward her final destination of weight reduction and improved health. Our interpretation of Janelle Brown's recent exercise report: Janelle is fully dedicated to fulfilling her fitness ambitions. Her recent fitness report reveals a fresh commitment to weight reduction and overall better health. She has gone beyond sporadic efforts and is now adopting a more organized and objective-oriented approach. Even while traveling, Janelle remains regular with her daily exercise and health objectives. Training with a professional will provide her with a consistent workout schedule, preventing her from missing sessions and increasing her enthusiasm to achieve her long-term health goals. Sister Wives cast member Janelle wants to lose weight and develop sustainable, healthy habits. Sister Wives: does Janelle believe that Robin is a gold digger for capitalizing on the family and not bringing in money? Sister Wives cast member Janelle Brown is not mincing words as she calls out Robin as a gold digger. She just revealed how Robin was milking everyone's sweat without doing much herself. As per Janelle, when the family was struggling, Kody's Diesel Jeans model wife was nowhere to be seen. For years, Janelle had been living with the plural family, sacrificing everything to ensure their children had a brighter future. In season 19, she relocated to North Carolina, marking a new chapter in her life. To this day, Janelle still has so much more to say about her spiritual marriage. After being with Robin for so long, Janelle finally revealed how she truly felt about her. Is Robin really a gold digger? What makes Janelle believe that she is? What secrets does she disclose? Sister Wives: Janelle considers church as a means of spiritual release. Mary Brown was the first to ask for a spiritual release from the church. She wanted to sever all connections with Kody and end their spiritual union. The Sister Wives star yearned for a new beginning, far from all the drama. Christine, however, never viewed things the same. Her faith had changed. She no longer belonged to the Mormon community, and therefore she never felt the necessity for a formal religious release. Due to the need, Janelle was the last of the ex-wives to formally end things with her husband. She got into a heated argument with Mary at Coyote Pass regarding what their futures would hold. The TLC personality also shared about seeking a spiritual divorce from her ex. Mary persuaded Janelle to do it and even suggested taking her to the chapel. She believed that Janelle must be let go in order to really move forward in her life and faith. Sister wives. Janelle expresses frustration with Robin's indulgent lifestyle. Robin and Cody have become notorious for their indulgent lifestyle decisions. Throughout the years, Christine, Janelle, and Mary have consistently called out the couple on the show. Cody always appeared to prefer Robin over his other wives, even referring to her as his diesel jeans model. In one recent episode, though, Janelle personally attacked Robin, calling her a gold digger. She expressed her frustration and disillusionment with Cody's favorite wife in an off-camera interview. The TLC star spoke of how sister wives toiled for years to create economic stability. Robin, she remembered, was an invisible presence in the family's most difficult moments. Janelle recalled, but after they had gotten things in order and profited from their effort, she entered the family. The reality TV star candidly shared about the times the family had to forage for food to avoid starvation and had to scrape together what little they had just to settle their bills. Even Janelle had to make do with the old things, using diaper pins to keep her frayed bra together instead of purchasing new ones. Though receiving all Cody's attention, she implied her past co-wife was only driven by money. People have always thought about Robin in the same manner, noticing what she was doing all along. They wondered for years even why she just did not appear to care to create connections with her co-wives. In the latest episode of the veteran family reality show that observes changing relationships of a once polygamous home, the winds of grief blow through a previously fragmented family as a deeply moving memorial plays out. A poignant tribute is offered to a precious child whose loss has sent the Brown family into a heartbreaking silence. The grief of one family is now experienced by many families as audiences watch them walk through sorrow. The memorial, which airs on a day set aside for mothers, touches hearts. As the family, previously dispersed across states and drained by emotional distance, reunites, there is a sense of unity that is both painfully earned and long overdue. The tribute, stitched together with grief and memory, slowly forms. Early on in the episode, an overwhelming sense of respect pervades the atmosphere, not only for the lives that have been lost, but also for the strained relationships brought about by years of mistrust and bickering that now seem so unimportant in light of loss. As the series sheds peels of naked emotion, Janelle and her ex-spiritual companion pay respects to their deceased son with subdued, genuine dignity. After decades of being under the public's microscope, the family looks inward, offering reflections in a voice that sounds seldom heard. Audiences are welcomed into a sacred space where suffering is shared and memories are kept holy. Throughout the episode, family members share how they initially heard the heartbreaking news. Their hands shake, their voices break, and their faces reflect the crushing sadness that no parent, sibling, or family ever should have to experience. What started out as a home that was working hard to manage several marriages has now become a snapshot of a bereaved family, drawing strength not from structure, but from mutual pain. The young man, a remembered figure known for his altruism, sharp wit, sense of humor, fondness of animals, and commitment to public service, struggled for years against internal demons. While his tribulations were never adequately depicted on the screen, faithful viewers constantly sensed his off-camera presence. He leaves us with not only unresolved questions, but a legacy of love that people dearest to him hold on to dearly. His mother, Janelle, emerges with the kind of valor that only a sorrowing mother can muster. She speaks softly but confidently of her son's last wishes and the tough days after his death. Although she is still incredibly resilient, her devastation is impossible to avoid. She remembers, with shaking hands, saying goodbye, fulfilling his desire for cremation, and holding a private memorial with only his closest friends and family in attendance. Once famous for his forceful opinions and authoritative voice, His father, Cody, now presents a different picture, one softened, even shattered by sorrow. Stripped of pride, Cody acknowledges he hopes his son is buried close to the family's origins, next to a cherished elder who died ahead of him, albeit temporarily. The occasion is one that emphasizes how profoundly loss has grounded him. Though the day is a remembrance, it is also one that's historically intended to honor mother's love and strength. The irony is not missed. It becomes a strong reminder that motherhood is not only about happiness, it's also about making it through the unimaginable. On this given day, the typical emphasis on flowers and sunny breakfast gives way instead to tear-stained faces and the devastating task of leaving behind a child. The whole extended family gathers. Christine, who had forged her own independent way, is there, as is Mary, who too long ago had trodden a separate path. Even those who in the past opted for distance rather than contact now stand shoulder to shoulder, bound together by their sorrow. It is a harsh irony of life that it has taken such devastation to bring them together. Mary's own phrase, "It shouldn't take death to mend the broken," expresses a pain that speaks for many. Strained relationship cracks that appeared irreparable are temporarily smoothed over by the heavy burden of shared grief. Siblings who once fought now hold each other with no reservations. Tears convey words unspoken for far too long. It is not an instant of complete healing, more a quiet pause between suffering and the lengthy path to healing. Audiences are eased into the intimate ceremony with tender consideration. No grand speeches, no sweeping motions, only a subdued tribute to a life lived. Soft music plays favorite tunes. A slideshow of personal photographs flickers by. A handwritten letter is read. Ashes fall beneath a horizon smeared by the dying sun. And with that, a chapter in the family's book quietly ends. There is no real closure when someone so young is lost. Instead, there is just the start of a gradual realization. Sorrow is not something you bear alone. It's something you bear together. Every member of the family, in his or her own way, promises to be more present, to check in more often, to arrive before it's too late. On all platforms, audience responses rush in. A wave of support, sadness, and solidarity in cyberspace. A tide of sympathy and support pours in from the audience. Words of profound empathy flow, particularly for the father, now viewed through the prism of bereavement, for the siblings shocked by sorrow, and for the mother who never should have had to bury her child. Most hope that the episode may encourage someone to call before it is too late, while others are moved to think about their own families and personal losses. This episode is different, not only because of the seriousness of its topic, but also because of its unvarnished honesty. There is no effort to tie trauma into a tidy, satisfying loop, or to sensationalize sorrow. Instead, it just makes room. Room to feel, to cry, to stay with the hurt. Audiences will be guaranteed to be moved by this part of the family's history. It is a gentle reminder that behind the sanitized scenes and nicely crafted programs are real individuals, bearing real sorrows, living with the same harsh realities as the rest of us. Ultimately, death is the great leveler, and love, even when spoken in the voice of profound sadness, is still the unifying thread that binds us together. As the credits roll, in place of a standard commercial, a gentle message appears, inviting anyone who may be hurting to call out, to speak out, to remind themselves they are not alone. It is a tribute not only to the son who has gone, but to all the others still quietly waging battles no one knows. Ultimately, this segment is more than a goodbye to a life shortened. It reminds every viewer to hug their loved ones, to speak the words they have held in silence, and to never think there will always be another day. At the same time, one woman who previously lived in the desert has embarked on her own path of survival, rebirth, and self-sufficiency. Having been caught up for decades in an intricate and emotionally fraught plural marriage, she bravely chose to leave it all behind, relinquishing snowy peaks and spiritual attachments for the hope of something else. In pursuit of healing as well as nearness with her children, she moved east toward the coast. It begins in a peaceful corner of the Carolinas, where sea air carries the scent of hope, and the whispering woods appeared to guarantee second chances. It wasn't easy, of course, and she has candidly discussed the challenges that accompanied abandoning the life she knew. She shared that adapting to a new life, rebuilding her support system, and learning to take care of herself outside of the context of a joint marriage presented unforeseen challenges. But within those challenges, she also discovered moments of clarity, strength, and even joy. On social media, she spoke candidly about a detail that seemed minor but was profoundly important, discovering the proper support for her health journey. She shared, "One of the hardest parts about moving somewhere new is finding people you can truly trust with your health. Someone who can cut your hair properly, someone who can coach you through a workout without judgment." It wasn't an instant transition. It demanded patience and a willingness to advocate for herself. Over time, she discovered a personal trainer who not only shared her objectives, but challenged her beyond her comfort level. By soft, insistent text messages, he established a bond of encouragement and responsibility. In one message, she replied briefly but warmly, "Everything's going well. I'm thankful you set clear milestones for me. Thank you for keeping me on track." It was not merely physical transformation. It was a symbol of mental training and the willingness to create an entire life according to her design. She courted discomfort for growth and put that discomfort to work in reshaping herself. Free at last from a family unit that more often than not relegated her to obscurity, her body, as much as her soul, slowly, incrementally began healing. But this was not solely about workouts and individual achievements. Under her calm fortitude was the sorrow of a mother still grieving the unimaginable loss of her grown son. No words could ever heal the wound his absence created. Each breath, each step through her day was laced with sorrow. Still, she decided, carefully, purposely, to rise rather than fall. Every meal that had been planned with purpose, every set done at the gym, every introspective moment of silence was an offering to his memory, a softly spoken vow that testified, "You mattered. I am still here, carrying you with me." She was not walking this journey by herself. Her children, though geographically dispersed, were still intensely connected emotionally, offering the anchor she required to mend. Over time, she started building friendships within her new community and discovered a calling that went far beyond her own needs, an agricultural project based on sustainability and community health. Her business, named after resilience and growth, flourished into a sanctuary where healing and harvest coexisted. For those who had watched her journey from afar, the change was visible. Online discussions about her changed, once riddled with concern and sorrow, now more inspired and optimistic. Even though her eyes still carried shreds of sadness, they now shimmered with resolve. Witnesses commented on her lighter skin, her more confident stride. Compliments rolled in, not only about how she looked, but about the shining aura she now emanated. But she was not seeking approval. What she craved was wholeness. Her fitness practice had changed. It was no longer about pressure or perfection. It was about presence, being present for herself. Even on the days that grief seemed insurmountable, she stayed true to her commitment to move, to breathe, to be. The intention she had created with her trainer became a silent beacon on nights when motivation lagged. More than a ritual, it was a lifeline, a reminder to stay grounded in the now, rather than be swept under by the past. Once informed by the roles she inhabited in a complicated spiritual marriage, she now wrote her own story on her own terms. Her dreams, once entwined with the requirements of a big family, were now her own. She now lived to create a legacy of strength, resilience, and quiet self-assurance. Whether sharing encouragement with her trainer, sorting seeds on her farm, or taking her dog out for a walk along a misty path at early dawn, doubts would still occasionally creep in. There was weeping, frustration, and even guilt. Guilt for having the temerity to experience moments of happiness following such abiding loss. But beneath each trembling moment lay a silent triumph. She had grown past old standards, endured profound grief, and respected her pain not by surrendering to it, but by going on. Her relationship with her trainer was representative of more than bodily health. It was indicative of the new standards she now set for herself: to appear, to be authentic, to persevere. She walked in quiet dignity. She embraced defeats without self-pity, invited honest criticism without resentment, and even found herself laughing at her own mistakes, always combining grit with elegance. That same humility, forged a long time before through suffering, now began shaping a new existence, one under her own authority rather than others. Her tale was no longer that of survival itself. It was one of purposeful creation, of daily decisions to grow. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more daily updates. Stay strong, stay kind, and I'll see you again soon.